What's going on, baseball fans? How you doing? Well, that was quite an exciting Game 1 of the American League Championship Series. The Astros coming out on top in round 1 with a score of 5-4. We're going to get into it tonight. We're going to go over everything. So let's get to it. What is going on, everyone? Hello. Seeing around 35 people in the chat right now. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to make this a quick one tonight. I am still recovering from last night's game. The Giants and the Dodgers. That game, West Coast game, staying up that late. I'm telling you, I run on a schedule here where I gotta go to sleep a little earlier. I wake up in the morning and go to work, and I only got 3-4 hours of sleep last night. I'm dying. But I'm not going to hold you guys here for too long tonight. Almost 12:30 here on the East Coast. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that this game went that long. Considering how these two lineups are, there is going to be a lot of pitches thrown. There's going to be just a lot of walks. There's going to be a lot of balls taken. There's going to be a lot of pitches taken. I'm not surprised to see that it went this long tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if all of these games, however many games there ends up being in this series, if every game goes over 4 hours. I'm not going to be surprised about that at all. These two lineups are just so deep, and I don't think we're going to see a lot of quick games in this series, if any at all. But everyone, before I do get into it, as always, I got to do a few little cheap plugs here. But if anyone's new, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button for me, everyone. That's going to help this get out there to any baseball fans looking to get some post-game coverage. Hit the bell button so you get notified of all my live streams. Share the stream if you can as well. Also, we have memberships on the channel now. For only 99 cents a month, you get badges and emojis, Q&As for future live shows. You get an access to a private Discord and a private subreddit. Also, check the description below. We are partners with Dr. Squatch Soap. So if you're looking to maybe try and smell a little better than you already do, then go take a look at the link in the description below. But everyone, let's just get into it here. Again, a good game tonight. Red Sox were looking like they were hanging tough there a little bit, maybe even walking away with a win here tonight. And then the Astros just battled back there. Two key guys for the Astros over the last few years, stepping up for them in a big way tonight and helping secure them the Game 1 victory. So let's get into it tonight. Let's just get right to the box score here. Here we go, sharing the screen. So, like I said, 5-4 Astros tonight. There's a good amount of offense. 21 hits combined tonight. Hey, these two teams, they're two of, the Astros had the best offense this year in all of Major League Baseball statistically, but the Red Sox were also right up there as well. These are two very deep lineups. So let's just kind of get into it. Let's just, kind of break down, everything. I'm going to start off with the starting pitching for tonight. So that's kind of, let's just start at the very beginning. I think that was when you take a look at how the game started, the starting pitching was kind of the key. Chris Sale, Framber Valdez, both of them going, only 2 2/3 innings. These guys had to scrap and claw in the first few innings there. Chris Sale, he was just battling, and Framber Valdez as well. Chris Sale was able to get through what he could. This is kind of what I was expecting for tonight from Chris Sale. I was not expecting him to go deep. This Astros team saw him well, in a start earlier this year. So not surprised to see, Chris Sale struggling a little bit. He also had some moments where the home plate umpire, who was the home plate umpire tonight? It was David Rackley. Kind of squeezed him a little bit on some. He did give him a couple of gifts in return. But Chris Sale, overall, he had trouble getting calls on the right side of the plate. Some of those pitches looked pretty good on the outside corner to a lefty and didn't quite get it. And there was one instance where Chris Sale, he got really frustrated. I thought a pitch looked pretty good myself, and then he called it a ball. And Chris Sale, emotional guy out there when he's pitching, and there were some moments Sale was getting a little frustrated tonight, but he had to hold his composure. This was a guy, Chris Sale, he had to do something for the Red Sox tonight. Again, not overall a lot, but he was able to give them something. But while Framber Valdez, on the other hand, both of them, they were giving up their fair share of hits. But Framber Valdez, he ended up giving up a couple of more runs overall. There was a run that scored on an error, but, walked a couple of more guys. Framber Valdez overall was very ineffective. The Astros bullpen really had to step up tonight. This was huge for the Astros, considering where this Astros bullpen, kind of was this year. Middle of the road, not really amazing by any means. They were able to get a guy like a Phil Maton from the Indians at one point to kind of solidify that bullpen. They also got Yimi Garcia as well. So the Astros bullpen, middle of the road this year, looked pretty good at times, but then they had their moments too. But this bullpen today really stepped up for them. But in the end, the starting pitching, you would love, for these guys to be able to go deeper. But in the end, a lot of bullpen arms were used tonight. But let's kind of just get into how these runs were scored early on. So Chris Sale, this guy was battling. Yordan Alvarez, really all the Astros could do early on. Kind of surprised. I really thought the Astros were going to get to Sale at one point. He was giving up hits left and right. Sale had to just get by, by the skin of his teeth. But Yordan Alvarez, got it started with a sacrifice fly. So, again, kind of surprised that was all that ended up happening there. But then the Red Sox, they were able to get to Framber Valdez there in the third. Valdez looked okay in the first couple of innings, but then that third inning, Kike Hernandez, holy cow, this guy is having a postseason for the ages. I mean, good grief. Let's pull up Kike Hernandez right now. Ever since game 1 of the postseason, this guy has been on a tear. Take a look at his 2021 postseason stats. Here we go. Let's pull it up here. So overall, in this postseason, he's played 6 games. He's had 28 at-bats. I don't know, actually, was this updated? I think this is updated. So he's hitting 500 this postseason. He's got 4 home runs. He's got 8 RBIs. This dude is killing it. He's got a slugging over 1,000. He's getting on base over half the time. Kike Hernandez is just carrying this offense right now. Gotta love it. Gotta love what Kike Hernandez is doing. Another great game for him. 4 for 5, couple RBIs. Had the home run right there at the end. But in the beginning, that's when he got it started with his first home run of the night. Dead center field, just a laser shot out there. But then JD Martinez in the third, again, reaching on that fielder's choice. There was the error there. The Red Sox were able to get a run scored. And Hunter Renfroe had the double. Hunter Renfroe, a little quiet in that first series. Wasn't bad by any means, but just wasn't really this impact bat that you would like for him to be, considering how he was at times during the season, down the stretch especially. So it was nice to see him come through with an RBI double there. But that was really it for the Red Sox until we got to Kike Hernandez. Just moments earlier, had a second home run of the game, was able to bring the Red Sox within 1. But let's kind of get to that right quick. So 3-1 lead. Hey, this Astros team, they've been here. They've done that. They got these guys, postseason veterans, Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa. Jose Altuve, big game-tying home run there. And then Carlos Correa getting the go-ahead home run in the 7th. And then, in all honesty, I think the most important thing was the sac fly for that insurance run. Like I said, Kike Hernandez had his second home run of the game. So, I mean, that insurance run right there was huge for the Astros. But getting to the 6th inning here. So Jose Altuve, that was off of Tanner Hauck. So Tanner Hauck, he's having an interesting postseason. He had that dominant performance against the Rays out of the bullpen. So you're thinking maybe Tanner Hauck, this is a guy that's going to go on some kind of a run here in this postseason. At least he was, kind of lining up for it. One Rhino Dances has just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing, my friend. But Tanner Hauck, this is a guy, if we go to the player breakdown on Baseball Savant, a lot of sliders from him, fastballs. I want to start seeing Tanner Hauck mixing in that sinker a little more. And you know what? I know the Red Sox, they don't have a great infield by any means. I know this Astros offense, they love to put the bat on the ball. But I want to start seeing that sinker come into play with a Tanner Hauck. This guy, he was getting a ton of vertical movement on that sinker this year. 9.4 vertical inches more than the average sinker this year. The reason I would like for him to start mixing in this sinker a little bit more is just to keep these guys, keep them guessing a little bit more. Try and keep them a little more off balance. Even get a splitter involved as well. Something here. He doesn't have a bad splitter by any means. I would like for that to come into play a little bit more. Really, he's essentially just a two-pitch guy. At least tonight he was. Just a slider fastball combo. That could only go so far against the Houston Astros team. This is an offense that's they're gonna wreck you. So you got to get more pitches involved here. I'm not sure which one you maybe, start playing with a little bit more, but as we can see by the numbers, he gets a lot of movement on that sinker. He gets a lot of movement, or a good amount of movement on the splitter. So Tanner Hauck, let's start getting these pitches a little more involved here. And I think that could maybe, because he was a little ineffective, against the Rays, later in that series as well. Again, he pitched really well out of the bullpen in relief of Chris Sale in Game 2 against the Rays. And then the next time he appeared in that series wasn't as effective. So, and then again tonight, not effective. So Tanner Hauck, I think it's going to be a big key for him. Get some more pitches involved, kind of keep him guessing a little bit more. Slider fastball with this Houston Astros team, that's not going to go very far if you ask me. But for the Houston Astros, let's just take a look at this bullpen. This bullpen for the Astros tonight, absolutely fantastic. They got the big hits from Correa. They got the big home run from Jose Altuve. Hey, great games from them. I mean, big-time home runs, in the spot where it counts the most. But to me, I think a lot of this credit goes to the Houston Astros bullpen. In the end, the Astros bullpen did a little bit more than the Red Sox tonight. The Red Sox bullpen performed very well, but or at least in relief of Sale early on. But then Hauck came in, like I said, gave up the home run. Robles giving up the home run to Correa. Salomore, not effective there at all. The Astros bullpen was phenomenal tonight. And Yimi Garcia, that was a big out, coming in relief of a Framber Valdez, coming in relief there, getting the one out, getting them out of that jam, because the Red Sox were still threatening there. They had Hunter Renfroe on second. So, so Yimi Garcia, good for him there. But Christian Javier, 2 innings, 1 hit allowed, 4 strikeouts. I really think he was, in my opinion, I feel like he was one of the key players of the game, because he really kind of helped just solidify or get the Astros back on track a little bit. The Red Sox offense was looking pretty good there in the 3rd inning. Christian Javier comes in. He's been kind of that utility knife for the Astros so far this postseason. He's come in, in certain spots, and he's giving you a couple innings. That's what Christian Javier is really excelling at the moment. Hey, I mean, as a Red Sox fan, I hate what he did tonight, but he looked really good. I like that he got the Astros back on track. Phil Maton looking good. Brooks Raley looking good. Stanek, Graveman looked good. Presley gave up the home run to Kike Hernandez there in the end, but Presley, his stuff was looking great. Overall, this Astros team, they just looked fantastic. But I think there's still more room for the Astros, to do even more. They came up with the timely hits. They were just blowing out the White Sox in some of those games. Tonight, they had to rely more on coming up with timely hits. That was the key for the Astros tonight. They had 11 hits total tonight. But in the end, they left 19 men on base. That's something to keep an eye out for. Michael Brantley, this is a guy I feel like, hey, batting second in the order, a great on-base guy. I think he needs to start, getting a little more involved here. He left 6 on tonight. So this Astros offense, the way they were able to get guys on the bases tonight, it felt like they should have scored way more runs than they did. There's still a lot more room for the Astros to get better in this series, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's another game coming up here soon, Game 2, Game 3, where they just pile on like 10 runs. So this offense for the Astros is that good. So let's go to Game 2. Overall, Astros, they played a great game tonight. I think they could even do more for the Red Sox. They had some opportunities and they missed it. So a couple other bright things here before I move on to Game 2 tomorrow. Give a little bit of a preview for that. Kyle Schwarber, great. Not Kyle Schwarber. Kike Hernandez moving back into the leadoff spot in place of Kyle Schwarber. Remember, they had Kike Hernandez leading off in the beginning of the Rays series. They moved him down to the 2 spot, and that's when he started to come alive. And Kyle Schwarber, they've kind of switched them back here. Schwarber, 1 for 5 tonight. I want to see a little bit more from him. So, and some other guys, like even JD Martinez, I feel like he's been pretty quiet. He had a couple of big hits against the Rays there, especially in game 2, but JD Martinez, he needs to start doing a little bit more. So let's go to game 2. Let's take a look at tomorrow's game. So that will be on at 4:20 Eastern time tomorrow. Pretty decent pitching matchup. Nathan Eovaldi going for the Red Sox. Luis Garcia going for the Astros. I felt personally Nathan Eovaldi, in my personal opinion, should have gotten the start tonight. I feel like Nathan Eovaldi, I really would have liked him in that spot. This is a guy that runs off adrenaline. He would have had that crowd, just going so loud for the Astros tonight. I feel like Nathan Eovaldi, go back to that 2018 World Series on the road in the World Series, coming out of that bullpen in that 18-inning game. I mean, Nathan Eovaldi was just living off adrenaline in that game. I think Nathan Eovaldi would have been a really nice guy to have, for game 1. He's been kind of your guy this year. In my opinion, I feel like that would have been nice. It was a bit of a surprise seeing Chris Sale when they announced him for game 1. I was a little surprised by that. I thought Nathan Eovaldi was more of I don't know if safer is the right word, but I don't know. I just feel like this is a guy, he's been your guy this year. I feel like it would have been nice to lead off with him, but I think in the end, the Red Sox were trying to steal a win there. I think they were trying to get something. They figured, okay, if we can get a couple good innings out of Chris Sale, we can ride this bullpen and, maybe we can steal a win here in Houston in game 1. And then if you got Nathan Eovaldi going game 2 with a 1-0 lead, that's not bad at all. Unfortunately, it didn't work out quite that way. So now the Red Sox are looking at it as, well, okay, we're down 1-0 now. Nathan Eovaldi, we're going to have to, count on him to give us a good start. So I know Nathan Eovaldi, he didn't have, great luck against the Astros this year. But in the end, it's the postseason. It's a postseason. This is a guy, I feel like he really would have turned it up a notch here. I think he would have been good in a game 1 start. But that's just my opinion. It was a close game tonight. So the cookie did not crumble the way the Red Sox thought. But he will get the start in game 2. Again, he had some moments this year against the Astros where he got hit around a little bit. Jose Altuve hitting .333 against him this year. Alex Bregman saw him really well this year. Correa seeing him well. And especially with Jose Altuve and Correa seeing the ball really well right now, both of them hitting a home run tonight. I don't know. It's a little scary, going up against Eovaldi. Actually, let me pull up Eovaldi. Nathan Eovaldi. Let's go to the splits. I feel like I showed this at some point in the stream last night while we were watching the Giants and the Dodgers. So Nathan Eovaldi against the Astros this year. So 1 start against the Astros. He went 5 2/3. He gave up 5 runs, gave up a home run, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. So, it didn't look good in that start. But I think Eovaldi, I think you're going to see a better Eovaldi tomorrow, and that's a key for the Red Sox. They used. Let's go back to this game tonight. I mean, this is going to be a key for both teams tomorrow. Even considering Luis Garcia as well. They're going to need to ride these starters as long as they can. That's going to be very difficult against these offenses. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but the Red Sox are going to need 5 innings from Eovaldi. They're going to need it. The Astros, they're going to need 5 innings from Luis Garcia. They worked their bullpens in this game. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out tomorrow. Where the Red Sox have a bit of an advantage for tomorrow is, hey, they used Tanner Hauck tonight, but don't forget about Nick Pivetta. Nick Pivetta was huge for the Red Sox against the Rays in the division series. So the Red Sox will have him. He's going to be fresh. So if Eovaldi starts to falter, I would not be surprised to see Pivetta come in rather early tomorrow. We did see also Adam Ottavino come in tonight. Was he even used in that series against the Rays? I can't even remember. I feel like maybe he was used for an inning. Let me go. Let me look. Adam Ottavino. I can't even remember if he came in that series. Postseason. Yeah, he came in one game. Right. So he came in one inning in that 5-game series. So I think Ottavino, that's a guy where you could see him again tomorrow. Let's actually pull up his splits. How did he do on just 1 day of rest? Or 0 days of rest. So he's not great on 0 days. He pitched 19 times, in back-to-back days. So, but I'm sure Cora would go to him, considering how much he used this bullpen. So I think you're going to see a Pivetta, in place of an Eovaldi. I wouldn't be surprised to see Pivetta even just come in for a couple of innings. Let's say Eovaldi does well. I wouldn't be surprised to say, Eovaldi go 5, Pivetta, come in, for the 6th, maybe the 7th, kind of bridge the gap to the bullpen or to the back end of that bullpen there. So starting pitching is very important in this game tomorrow, both for the Red Sox and for the Astros. They would love to ride these guys, but again, it's going to be very difficult with these offenses. It's going to be very hard. For the Red Sox, let's talk about where they need to, some key players for them. I feel like I said, guys like Kyle Schwarber, guys like JD Martinez. I feel like the Red Sox, sure, Kike Hernandez looks great right now. He looks fantastic, but you can only ride the Kike train for so long. You got to have some other guys start to come through. Xander Bogaerts, would love for him to come through in like a big spot, with guys on. I would love to have him come up with some RBIs tomorrow. Maybe even a Rafael Devers. He's battling something with his forearm right now. He did have 2 hits tonight, but if we can get Rafael Devers going a little bit, that's going to be great. But one guy I think could actually be a bit of an X factor tomorrow is Kevin Plawecki. Kevin Plawecki, he's always been the catcher for Nathan Eovaldi. He's a more of an offensive approached catcher. He does really well with Eovaldi behind the plate, but this guy hits a lot of doubles. I think Kevin Plawecki, look out for him tomorrow. I think, the Red Sox, they could use another bat come through for them tomorrow. Look out for Plawecki. I think that could be, a guy that could be a bit of an X factor kind of a guy. But for the Red Sox, I also think they need to cut down on the strikeouts a little bit. They struck out 10 times total tonight. They struck out in some, key spots. Bogaerts struck out a couple of times, like I said. Would like for him to, hey, instead of getting a strikeout, I mean, come on, let's get something going here, Bogaerts. So for the Red Sox, they need some other guys to come through. Kike Hernandez, I mean, he can keep having all these 5-for-5 games, 4-for-5, whatever, 2 home runs. But Schwarber needs to do something. JD Martinez, Bogaerts, they need to do something. So for the Astros, they had guys hitting all over the place tonight. But it would be nice if they could have, someone like Brantley come through. Even Bregman, who's batting in the 3 spot. So luckily, they rode Altuve and Correa, with some timely home runs tonight to a victory. But if the Astros want, to really take control of this series, they're going to have some other guys start stepping up. And another guy I want to mention, too, for tonight, hey, Chas McCormick. This guy went 3 for 4 tonight. Really good night for him. Hey, this is a guy, a bit of an X-factor kind of a guy, especially towards the bottom of the order that really sets it up nicely for when they can get up to the top. So, hey, look out for that. I really think Chas McCormick, actually, was he on base? He was on base, right, when Correa got on? So, let me go to all the plays. Hold on. So, 8th inning. Oh, no, that was in the 7th inning. So, was McCormick on? Oh, no, they started off with... No, never mind. Okay. So... But McCormick, he had himself a good night. And, yeah. And also, hey, Kyle Tucker. Hey, Kyle Tucker was red hot against the White Sox there. He was hitting very well in that series. And 0 for 4 tonight. So, I think both teams, they both need guys to step up for them. They can't just ride these couple of guys. If they want to, really, for the Red Sox, if you want to tie it up here in Game 2, you need some other guys. Astros, you want to take a 2-0 lead, you need other guys. So it'll be a good one tomorrow. I think this is going to be a close series all the way through. I never actually made a prediction on this series because I feel like it's very I feel like it's a very difficult series to predict, and I'm just not good at predictions anyway. I think this could really, I've said this last night, I think it can go either way. I think you could see a series with these two teams go 7. I could see the Astros sweeping. Hey, go back to 2018. The Red Sox, the Astros in the ALCS that year, the Astros won game 1, and then the Red Sox just roared to 4 straight wins. Look what they did against the Rays. They lost game 1, and they won the next 3. So, anything can happen in this series, especially with this Red Sox team. The one thing about the Red Sox where, sorry, excuse my giraffe neck Robbie right now, but where the Red Sox, they make adjustments very well. So look at what they did, against the Rays. They got shut out in game 1, had no offense going at all, and then they made all these adjustments. So I think Alex Cora, look out for him. I think he's going to be a big piece for tomorrow. But Dusty Baker, I think he's just going to keep doing his thing. They're just going to keep attacking, and they're just going to see what ends up happening with them. The Astros, they got a lot of good stuff going for them right now. So, but yeah. Everyone, that's all I have for tonight. I'm not going to keep you too long. I know some of you guys got to get your beauty rest. I am really tired. I feel like I'm stumbling on my words tonight. I am literally falling asleep. And, I got to get some sleep, man. So, everyone, hope you enjoyed game 1 tonight. Thank you for stopping by tonight. Again, not a long one. Didn't want to keep you too long. But I will be here again tomorrow night. We will have also the Dodgers and the Braves on tomorrow. Let me share the screen one more time. So, as of right now, Max Fried is getting the start for the Braves. Let's actually go of the Dodgers. Have they announced anything? Dave Roberts and Max Scherzer talk. What comes next? Dodgers, Scherzer. So he's the planned starter. Okay. So as of right now, it's looking like Scherzer for game 1. Okay, well, he got the save. Oh, of course, I got to subscribe. So it's looking like Scherzer. Manager Dave Roberts softly committed to Scherzer starting game 1. That's the plan, but we know going into tonight that if we used him, there might be a cost. We'll talk to Max tomorrow, see where he's at. But as of now, that's where we're at. So, you got to remember, he just pitched last night. So that'll be interesting. Could you maybe, I don't even know. I don't know. We just got to keep an eye on this for tomorrow. But would be a pretty good matchup if it was Max Scherzer and Max Fried. Hey, the battle of the Maxes. That could be pretty fun. But everyone, that's all I got for tonight. Thank you for stopping by, and be on the lookout for me to go live tomorrow night. I'll have post-game coverage of the Red Sox-Astros Game 2 and the Dodgers and the Braves in Game 1. Everyone, thank you so much. Go get some rest, and I'll talk to you next time.